Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to a new video. It is officially week 1 of Trinity Term of Oxford, and I actually have some scheduled stuff today, so it's not like class related or anything. I have a meeting with the course director because we're just going to discuss some of the things that we'd like to bring up at the course steering committee, which is like part of what I was doing since I volunteered as a student rep. So me and another girl on the course, basically they have a steering committee meeting once a term. Maybe they have more, but these are the ones that like we're invited to. And we just kind of come and like give feedback from the students on like what we think of the course and how it's going, and like if there's any questions or issues that we want to raise. So we're just going to meet with her to kind of discuss what we might want to bring up. So that should be nice to do this afternoon. And then I'll see what time it is. I might either go to Pembroke or just like walk around a little bit. It is kind of like drizzly and depressing outside today, so not totally sure what I'll be doing. I'll see what it's like after I get out of the meeting. But yeah, I've just been doing some reading at home here this morning, so had a very relaxed morning, and we'll be getting back into it this week. Again. So after my meeting, which was really good, I found being a student rep this term really nice, and I've said it before, but I really appreciate on our course that I don't know if you necessarily get on other courses, or it's not, maybe not necessarily a standard. I don't know, because this is the only course that I'm on at Oxford, but they're just like very open and like are regularly asking for feedback from not just like me and the other student rep, but everybody on the course, because it is so new. So they're like very open and receptive and like actively seeking out student feedback, which I think is really nice. And like when we mention something, we can see them trying to like put it into practice as much as they can for our year even. It's not just like a, well, this will benefit future years, but sucks to be you. Like it hasn't really been like that. There are some things that like we've discussed about, maybe like the ordering of classes and everything, that like you could potentially rearrange, which obviously they can't for us, but like might be something to think about during classes and everything. But yeah, things that can be like implemented right away, they try to do as soon as possible, which is really, really nice. And yeah, I just like appreciate that on the course, and it's been nice to be a student rep and everything and get to go to the meetings and hear from people. But anyway, after our quick meeting, it was quite short. I think we were there for like half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, not sure. I went for just like a quick little walk for some fresh air, and then came back here to do some work and reading, but the reading was for my dissertation, so even though it's fun reading, it's still work. So I've been doing that, but it's made me, so basically for my dissertation, because I'm doing like twice a week, I'm like finding trending and top liked videos for the books that I'm reading, which are like fantasy books, and one is A Court of Thorns and Roses, and there's one that is like has been consistently kind of trending or a top video for a few weeks that has this fan art of Feyre and Rhys's wedding, which I don't know if it's like accurate to what was described in the book, because I can't remember. I don't think she has like a dress or anything, but it's just this really great like fairy wedding artwork, and it reminds me a lot of Thumbelina. And I loved Thumbelina when I was a kid, and it's got, you know, the fairy prince, and they dance and sing, and they have this great wedding, and it's beautiful. And sometimes I feel like that movie was a fever dream that I've just made it up, because I'll talk about it to people and they won't know what I'm talking about. But I mentioned it to my friend the other day, and she was like, oh my god, I would watch that every time I went to my nan's house. And I was like, I would watch it when I went to my grandma's house too. Or I think I did anyway. I have a memory of that. Maybe I've made it up. But I loved Thumbelina, and I'm like, it does feel like a made-up movie. You're like, hey, remember when Charo voiced a frog? And so I think I'm going to watch that tonight. There was a point to the rambling. I think I'm going to watch that this evening, because I'm just a wild child, so I'm going to watch Thumbelina. Morning, everybody. So I had my wild night in last night watching Thumbelina, and then I had a little catch up with my friends here just at home. We had some tea. But this morning I'm going to head out to the library to get some work done this afternoon, and then I don't have anything planned for this evening. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna get up to. Maybe do something, watch a movie or whatever. But yeah, I've got some very cool stuff going on this weekend that I'm really excited about, so we're going to be planning that out soon, I think. So I think I'm going to head to the Old Bodleian, potentially. I'm gonna see how full it is because the last week it was really busy because especially I think most graduate courses that have exams are done exams now, like they'll do them through 0 week and then be done, but undergrads still have exams. Hopefully the library won't be too busy because they were crazy packed last week. We'll see if I can find a seat, basically. Again. So I went out to work and there was like construction on my usual walking route, so I had to go the other way, which took me by Starbucks, and there was a bunch of empty seats in there, so I decided to just work in there this afternoon, which my headphones were dead, but they were playing all Taylor Swift. It must have just been a pure Taylor Swift playlist because there's stuff from the new album, but also just like some classics, so it was a good vibe. And since I didn't have my headphones, I could listen to that. I could eavesdrop on the people around me. It was a good time. So that was productive. And then, so that was good. And then my sister has turned into like a real sneaker junkie. And she saw this pair that they have at Office Shoes online. And I think Office Shoes is a UK company, brand, store. So she'd sent me these and she was like, you should go see if they have them there. And I said, can they not ship to Canada? And she said, I don't know, I just saw that stupid little symbol in front of the price, so I assume it's a UK company. And I was like, fair enough. But she also just wanted to see what they would look like in person. So I went and looked at Office Shoes. They didn't have the one she was looking for, but they did have a lot of options. But then I went and walked around Zara, as you would have seen. Then I came back and I stopped at Pembroke to check my mailbox, and I was debating whether I wanted to sit in the library and continue working there, but I was cold, so I decided to come back here and make some hot chocolate. So that's what I've done here now this afternoon. But yeah, going to continue plugging away at a few things here, and then I think I'm going to be forced to go to the gym again with Gaia and Eloise. So such is my plight. Hi, everyone. So it's actually Thursday today. I dropped the ball again and didn't really film anything yesterday because there just wasn't really much that I could show. It was a full day because I started my practicum and we've got some really cool fun ideas. I'm going to be doing a bit of a social media promo series for the Kafka exhibition that is going on at the Taylorian. Oxford is doing a bunch of Kafka stuff this year, which is all really cool. There's going to be like an exhibition at the Weston Library. They gave everyone a copy of the Metamorphosis, which I think I showed a couple blogs ago. So there's a bunch of stuff going on around Kafka. And yeah, I'm really excited about it because I think it's going to be super fun. Basically, I'm going to be trying a bunch of funny language learning strategies because it's basically, the exhibition is showing his notebooks as he was learning Hebrew. So yeah, it should be really fun. So I'm going to be attempting to learn some German. We'll see how it goes. And then I'm also going to be doing, for the practicum, I'm also going to be encoding a text that's associated with language learning. Should be fun. I'm excited. I'm going to continue doing stuff today. I'm going to be like making the accounts. I'm going to draft some, I don't know if I'll like make one today because I'll be at the library, but I'll at least like draft some ideas for the videos that I'm going to do. And then I'll maybe make some either tomorrow or maybe over the weekend, so I have some drafts to show. And yeah, I'm excited. It should be quite fun. But I was basically at the library 9 to 5 yesterday, and then I came back and didn't do anything exciting, so there just wasn't anything to show. But I'm making up for it because the next 3 days are jam-packed of cool stuff. So today, the first thing we're doing, this afternoon, I'm heading to Bath with Anika, and I'm excited because I haven't been to Bath yet. And we're not going to be doing much of like the Regency cool stuff that you can do in Bath, so I'll have to go back again. But yeah, I've heard it's beautiful. And then we're going for Leigh Bardugo's press tour for The Familiar. So we're going to a book signing at a bookstore there, which should be quite cool. We're getting a free copy of well, not a free copy, of a copy with our ticket of The Familiar, and she's gonna sign all of the copies and do a Q&A and everything, which should be very cool. I've never been to an author signing before because I guess I've met Jan Martel when I was in high school, who wrote Life of Pi, because he's actually from Saskatoon. So a teacher at like a neighboring school had arranged for him to come and give a talk there, and our school people who were interested could go along, so I went and saw that. So I did meet Jan Martel, and I didn't have my own copy of Life of Pi, so he signed a Maymont library book. And I think it was like made out to me. I should have just like tried to buy it from the library. But anyway, I'm very excited because I think it will be very, very fun. So I have that to look forward to this evening. But for now, I'm going to head back to the Taylorian and continue doing stuff for the practicum. And yeah, whatever else I can get done today. Okay guys, so I worked at the Taylorian all morning and I got a bunch of stuff done for the practicum. Like not anything like major done yet, because obviously this is like day 2, but I made a lot of decisions and I kind of got things organized, which is good. Kind of feeling more like I know what I'm doing with it. But then after me and the other, I guess I'll just call us interns on the practicum, me and the other intern went and had lunch at the covered market. And then by that point I was like, well, I need to like come back to swap out my bag for Bath anyway. So I was like, with the amount of time it'll take me to go like back and forth, I might as well just come back home and continue doing a little bit of work here prior to leaving for Bath. And also it was kind of chilly, so I switched out my backpack for my smaller bag and put on this sweater because, I mean, it's not like that cold, but I was chilly walking back and I was like, we're gonna be there in the evening, might as well change. So yes, I'm about to head out to the train station. I'm very excited. We're at a place called Bear Grylls because when me and Anika travel, we go to barbecue places. And we're the only ones in the restaurant.
Which is kind of creepy, but...
What is it? The music's loud, it's fine.
Yeah.
So we've got our books and they're signed.
Yeah.
And we met Leigh Bardugo, so we're basically best friends. I thought it was really good because I've never been to one of those before. So it's just her. She gave like, I wouldn't call it a speech, but she just spoke for a little bit herself and then answered questions that we got to write in on a card. Both of our questions got asked. And I really, cause like sometimes when you hear writers give writing tips, it's very like, just write, just go for it. You know, but I felt like she gave really good writing advice.
Yeah.
And like, it's interesting to hear about the research process, because I've always wondered like, how do people who aren't like affiliated with a university get access to those kinds of materials yet. And obviously with her now would have like publishing connections and everything could like get her access. But it's just very cool to hear about the process, and she's very, very funny. And I didn't know that she didn't publish until she was 37.
Me neither.
And I think that's really cool. So yeah.
But she's published a lot since then.
She has, we counted. There's like 10 books, plus like at least 3 more in the works.
Yeah.
I feel like I did know that Ninth House was being adapted, but like I'd forgotten. And then they have a pilot and they're like scoping it out, I guess. So that's very exciting. Because I think it would make a good TV show. Yeah.
Hellman?
So,
I'd be curious how you do Hellman. But Ninth House would be really cool. And she's she's gonna start writing book 3.
Yes, so she said it would maybe be out next year. Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
I imagine based on the timeline near the end of the year though. Because she's working on a horror novella, which I think will be quite cool. That she wants to finish in June, and then we'll be working on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all around, very informative. Got a lot of updates, but it was very...
And we got our book signed!
Yeah, she didn't get to do dedications or personalizations because there wasn't enough time, but that's okay. Because she approved of my headband and Anika's fall shirt, so...
There we go.
We got our validation. Hello again. So to catch up from last night, we met Lee Bardugo. It was a very, very cool event, and it went by. Anika has been to a few of those, and she said that was really fast. So I don't know if like normally the Q&As are longer. I feel like the speaking portion was about an hour, and then we were pretty close to the front, so we got through the signing line pretty quickly. So I think that she came out at around 7 and started, and we were probably out of there by like 8:30 to 8:45ish, and then we didn't have our train until 9:15. So we went to this place called Heavenly Desserts and got a couple of things to take away, and then we had them at the train station, which was really nice, and then came back here. But I have my copy, and it says exclusive edition. I don't know if it's like an exclusive tour edition or like where you would get this version, but basically I think what's special about it is the sprayed edges, because they're sprayed black. Although her like regular hardcover edition of Six of Crows also has sprayed black edges. So maybe that's like standard for this, I'm not totally sure. But normally the script is gold, and here it looks quite blue, and it does flash blue in person as well, depending on the angle, but it also looks silver, so it's kind of like a bluish silver. And then they have special end pages that has a little scorpion on the corner, so it's very cool. And I of course got it signed. I think I said she wasn't able to do dedications at this one, just there wasn't time, which is kind of sad, but still very cool. I didn't know what to say because we get up in line and you only have like 3 seconds. And then I'm like, she said, hey, how are you? And I was like, I'm good, how are you? Thank you, thank you. And yeah, I was not particularly cool, but yeah, very, very cool event. Very exciting, because like I said, I've never been to an author signing or a book tour kind of thing, because they just don't have them in Saskatoon, at least not from like any authors that I know or follow. I bet there's probably a lot of like, I know McNally Robinson at Saskatoon has like readings and stuff, so probably more like local authors or maybe small independent authors will come through. But yeah, Lee Bardugo is not stopping in Saskatoon basically. But yeah, so that was a very, very cool experience, and I'm glad that I went. And not super expensive, like our ticket was £20, and that's how much the book costs. So basically we just bought a book and then got the other stuff as an extra. So yeah, very fun, and Bath is beautiful. We didn't get to see very much of it because we both, like Anika, she's doing a PhD and she's doing biochem, so basically she works in a lab kind of 9 to 5. And then I had work to do as well, so we didn't make a whole day of it. We left in the afternoon. And so we just kind of like walked around, had dinner at this barbecue place that had no one in it, like I showed you. And yeah, but saw part of the city and I could tell it was very, very pretty. We were also, neither of us knew, and we were speculating because the whole thing in Bath is the Roman baths. We were like, are they operational? Like, can you actually go into the baths there? I haven't confirmed, I haven't Googled it. It doesn't seem like you would be able to, because we were like, wouldn't there be bacteria in there? And I'm like, I'm just sure there's like, minerals, it's fine. But yeah, I would definitely go back to Bath, basically. Apparently the church because the event was in a church, so it was like a very fitting setting for Leigh Bardugo in the book and everything. And apparently, because someone had written in their question, like, Bath and this church have a connection to Jane Austen, so I'm not sure how Jane Austen is connected to the church. I believe she lived, or at least temporarily lived, in Bath, so I think there's probably a lot of Jane Austen stuff that goes on throughout the year. So definitely worth going to again. But yes, I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to read this book. Hopefully soon. It sounds very interesting. It's kind of like a historical fiction fantasy book, and it's set during part of the Spanish Inquisition. And is it Queen Elizabeth? This cover, she'd mentioned, is from like an actual portrait of one of the monarchs at the time. I believe her name was Elizabeth. And when she died, so basically, like, the story was very cool. She was like, when they mourned, it was like you weren't allowed to kind of like express grief or anything, because that was seen as like taking away from something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was just the grieving practices were that you weren't really supposed to openly mourn. I think it was because it was like taking away from the resurrection or something. I'm not sure. But the exception was when a monarch died. So this monarch dies and people are like wailing and throwing themselves against walls and everything, and that's when the main character in this book is born. She said it was one of the big moments of inspiration for her book. When she read, this history, and she was like, that's the moment that my main character should be born, because her mother says something about, this is what like gave you all that ambition, because you were born and you heard these cries and you thought it was for you. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this, because from what she said, from all of her, from all of the answers that she gave to the questions and what she said about the book, has made me very excited to start it. And she is, I don't know if I would say at this point if she's better known as a YA author, because she wrote Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows, which are both YA, probably her most popular series, I think it's fair to say. So she spoke a lot about the TV show as well, because a lot of people had questions about that. And it was very cool to hear her perspective, and she loved that cast so much in doing that adaptation. And this, actually, the film rights to it were bought right away. And like I said yesterday, they have a pilot for Ninth House, so that will potentially, hopefully, be turned into a TV show. But, yeah, so I think my question that I'd asked her was about kind of the differences between writing for YA and then transitioning to adult books, because Ninth House, like she said, is kind of, I mean, even Six of Crows, from what I understand, is not like as YA as Shadow and Bone. Like Shadow and Bone, I would say, is almost like very kind of early YA to me. And then Six of Crows is maybe a little older YA. Ninth House, I think you could make a case for it being also YA. I feel like when people used like new adult more, it probably would have fallen under that, but no one really says new adult anymore. But anyway, this is an adult historical fiction fantasy, and basically her answer to that question was like, she thinks it's almost harder on her readers than it is on her, and that writing for an adult book kind of just gives her more opportunity to like play a little bit, or to take different kinds of risks, or to go a little deeper. So I thought that was very interesting, and she was very funny and told good stories, and yeah, had a very, very nice time. And it's cool to like connect a person to these kinds of things, because like write with an author, especially someone like her who doesn't do a lot of social media. She has social media, it's just like more kind of professional promo stuff. Like you don't see a lot of her on her social media. And so I think it's very like kind of a weird thing to connect a person to the book, especially like high fantasy kind of stuff. But yes, had a very, very cool good time. But today I have just been kind of doing work from home for the most part and trying to tidy up, because tonight I also have something very fun going on. Me and my friend Yago and Gaia are going to go to the Taylor Swift ball, which is white tie, and is at the Oxford the Oxford Natural History Museum. And yeah, it should be super fun because it feels so random, but Oxford has a Taylor Swift society, like a Taylor Swift club, that do events throughout the term, and they're doing this ball, so we got tickets for it. And I'm super, super excited. So I think they're going to come here to get ready this evening. So I've been trying to make my room habitable for other people. And yeah, so I'm super excited for that. We're all going to get ready. And I'm going to wear my crazy dress that you may have seen in the background occasionally. But yeah, it should be super fun. I haven't been to like a true blue ball at Oxford yet. There was like the Union ball, but I feel like because I was at the Union, like there wasn't much dance. It just felt more like a party than like a ball. So I'm not, which I think this will as well, because there's different entertainers and things going on, but I'm very, very excited for it. So it should be quite fun. And it came at a good time, because it was like kind of right after Anika and I found out we wouldn't be able to do the ACOTAR ball. So I had this one instead, and I was like, well, now I can wear the outfit to something else. So yes. So yeah, I'm curious to see how much of the Tortured Poets department gets played. I know there's also a lot of other entertainers that are going to be there. Actually, someone from Pembroke, I believe, is in like a singing group that's going to perform. So it should be very fun and very exciting. It's Saturday today. The Swift ball was super fun. It was at the Natural History Museum, which I'd never been to before, and it was a really cool location for something like that because it's such a big space that they could have like one area with a dance floor and everything, but then you could like sneak off and find quiet corners really easily, and they had a bunch of like bars and snack tables set up. It was really fun. And they did have some areas to like make friendship bracelets and do other stuff, which we tried to go do, but we went too late, so they were like out of string and everything. But yeah, it was really cool. They had a bunch of different entertainment, so like people singing live, and then they had a couple drag queens that came and did lip syncs, and they did have some comedians, which I kind of felt bad for them because it just like isn't really the event for that kind of thing. Like I get the idea, but just in practice, I don't know if it really worked, because they could do like 5-minute sets, but no one was like really listening to them or anything, because people were really just there for the music. But yeah, I think for a different thing it might have worked better, but they tried. It was okay. And like I'm sure the comedy would have been great, but yeah, just maybe not the environment for that to shine. But yeah, it was very cool to have a bunch of different performers, and it was a really good time, and I'm glad that I went. But yeah, today I'm gonna go out for lunch with Anika and Gaia, and then later today I'm not really sure what I'm gonna get up to, but tomorrow I'm going into London with a couple of the girls, so we'll probably plan that out a little bit today. So I'm back from lunch. We wound up going to Old Tom's Pub, which is very close to Pembroke, and it's like a regular English style pub, but they actually serve Thai food, which is really nice. So I had pad Thai, and it was really nice. And then we went to, some people in there were eating Krispy Kremes, so then we were like, do we need a Krispy Kreme? So we went there and had one. But now I'm back at Gab, and I think I'm gonna try to get as much work as I can done today because we're going to London tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll have much time to do stuff tomorrow. That's what I'll be doing this afternoon. Good morning, everyone. So I'm all ready this morning to head into London because basically we'd been talking for a while about going into London to shop, but the catalyst is that my current hyperfixation is House of CB dresses, and there is just a House of CB store in this random shopping center, so that's where we're gonna go, but I do believe they also carry them in Harrods and or Selfridges. But basically I just love them, and I kind of shared that with Gaia. I told her that I love these things, so sometime if I ever went into London I'd want to go to Selfridges or Harrods to like see them in person. And she started scrolling through the website and she was like, oh my god, we need to go see these. So her and I are, and then Eloise just doesn't like missing out, so she's gonna come along as well. But yeah, I think the plan is to go to the shopping center that has just the store, and there are some other places there that we would check out, and then maybe see like what time it is. I don't know how long we'll be there, but if it's not super long, I imagine we'll maybe go to like Harrods or Selfridges just for fun or something. That is the tentative plan for today, but none of us really had a detailed itinerary, so we're just kind of gonna see where the day takes us. But I'm going to head downstairs to meet Eloise and Gaia and then head over to the train station. I'm back from London. So I didn't film as much as I wanted to because the mall was insanely busy. A lot of like strollers and everything all around, so it was kind of hard to capture anything, but I got some clips in House of CB, and then we went to Nobody's Child, and then after we were done in the mall we wound up just coming home. I could have gone longer, but we were pretty much done like actually shopping, and we wanted to come back for second dessert, and I think we were all just like a little tired, so instead of traveling like to the other side of London, we decided to just head back. But it was a successful trip because I did wind up getting something. So of the dresses that I tried on, I wound up getting this one, which is the like white drop waist with the little kind of like built-in belt thing, in like the kind of like cottagecore ditzy floral print. Like I said, I've only seen them online, and I was very curious about how like the sizing would work. I was not expecting anything to fit me, honestly, when we went in, but most things fit pretty well. I tried on the 4 dresses that I showed. So the short one I actually really liked, but the straps were just like too long. And then the midi length pink one, it fit everywhere except the cups were also too big, and I just didn't like the look of those as much, where it's like a built-in bustier, like where you can see the cups. That's just like, I didn't like that as much. And then I really liked the other floral print dress that I tried on as well, but I just thought that this one was like more special, so I went with that one. But yeah, very exciting and like cool to see it in person because yeah, I've only seen them online. But anyway, yeah, it was a good trip, very fun. And then tonight I think I'm just going to go to Second Dessert at Pembroke, which will be the first one I've been to in a very long time. I don't know if I actually got to one last semester, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, I might say goodbye here and I'll see you in the next video.